we have to adjust our perspective.
Yes.
And the reason why we have to adjust our perspective is because too many are carrying the Jonah spirit. They want America damned. They want destruction, socialism, because it comes out of their mouth. That's why we got to decree what God is saying. And so the Lord showed me something very interesting. When 9/11 took place, it was a crucial time for our nation. People say we've never been the same again. And what we don't realize is something touched the heart of God. God is about to heal the division in this country. Okay, and I'll tell you why. There's a prophecy, and I don't know if they have access to it, from last year, September 8th of 2018. He said, I'm going to give you a sign, United States, that I am uniting this land and I'm healing this land. And he said, here's the sign. Look to the year 2019. He said, there will be a word that shall arise in your papers, and it shall arise in your weather. It shall be the word extreme. Extreme heat, extreme temperatures, where it'll be hot and cold, cold and hot. He said it'll be extreme. It'll be called the year of extreme. Have you looked at all the headlines of extreme weather? He said this will be a sign of uniting the nation. Now, if you are looking just at the signs and you cannot see that there's something behind all of this, then we are misinformed. And he also said that it will be the year of water.
Oh my.
And look at how much rain and water. He said it'd be a year of flooding.
That is fulfilled.
And I said, God, why? Why the elements? Why are you revealing this weather, and why are you revealing all of this to our land and 9/11 and everything? And he said this. He said, I always, as long as my spirit remains in the earth, I always have a redemptive plan. A redemptive plan is a plan of hope and a plan of help. And that's what I love about this ministry. It's a plan of hope and it's a plan of help. And so he's trying to show us what he's doing, but some of us are misreading the signs. For example, in Mark 6, Jesus is walking out on the water, and he sent his disciples ahead of him at evening, or when it was dark. Right now there's darkness on the land. Right now there's a lot of evil, and sometimes the only thing we're looking at is evil. Jesus said men's hearts fail when they look at things on the earth. We got to quit looking at and start looking up. And so Jesus sent his disciples on ahead, and it says he intended on purpose to pass them by as they were in the boat and the wind was blowing and everything. And what they didn't realize is that a visitation of God was coming to them in the form of Jesus, and they misread the sign and called him evil, called him a ghost.
Yes.
People are doing the same thing. They think that this president is this and that evil is prevailing, that God somehow has forgotten this land, but they haven't discerned there's a visitation that has come upon this land. Here's why. When 9/11 happened, the Lord said that night, we gathered our church together, you remember this, and he said, you'll go to war and it won't be right. And he labeled, and we all have this documented. He said also, the place where the towers fell, I will raise up a president from the place of New York to bring this nation back on course, and I will pay back, I will restore, like you said. Now, think about it. Why did Bernie Sanders, Hillary Clinton, and President Trump all from New York City? Why was it New York City of all places? It came down to that. Hillary Clinton, 45th president. She goes and rents a tower called Tower 45. Okay? Because there's a spiritual significance, because of convergence of heaven and earth coming together. That's why we got to decree what God is saying, not what the news is. And so when 9/11 happened, think about it. Why is he from New York City, born from the very place that our towers were hit? Why does he represent a tower in Trump Tower? Why does he represent world trade? It's because God has a mystery that he's trying to bring to this land. And so what happens is, he's saying to us, understand, and remember the 240th year of America's reign prophecy. God was promising a New York City president, and he said when it would happen. He said 12 years before the 240th year of America's reign, I'm going to raise up this president, 2016.
Wow.
Yes.
Now, if you don't mind, the thing that I think is important regarding all of this is, think about what city just recently did one of the most diabolical things that you could ever imagine in the human heart. This is why we've got to be careful, and I love your house, Lord. We've got to be careful that we are not voting in people who are shedding the hands of the innocent by way of children in the womb.
That's right.
God
Right.
is angry
Yes, Lord.
and grieved.
That's right. Yeah.
You know why there is so much fight over this presidency, this administration, and confusion? It really comes down to this. God is coming. Jesus is walking, moving with the visitation. Hell's responding. Mark 4, Jesus said, go to the other side. He decreed it. Hell responded by a storm, tried to kill Jesus, tried to kill the disciples. Jesus didn't rebuke his Father, so we know the storm was from the devil. Why? Because there was something waiting on the other side. The man with the legion of demons. And when Jesus went to the other side, he shifted a region. Our nation is being shifted. We're coming into a new era. We're coming into an amazing time in this country. And hell is responding. Every time Jesus would come into a place with his glory, hell would react. They would fall on the ground, foam at the mouth like they do in the news. So you look at New York City.
That's the truth.
Lori, it's about a blood right.
Yeah,
The enemy is afraid of the blood right.
that's right.
The blood right is this. That's why they want abortion. That's why they mocked
Yes.
when they signed into law a baby. Are you kidding me? That can be killed outside of the womb?
That's right.
And we're voting these people in
Yeah.
because the spirits of Molech and Baal want a legal right to access this nation.
It's crazy.
They've held on to this land. God's raised up a president who's a friend of the church and a friend of Israel and a friend of the child in the womb.
Yes, that's right.
Thank you, Lord.
And
Yeah.
God is trying to break a blood right that has come through abortion.
Yes.
That's why the enemy's mad. Why? Blood and spirit are connected. Witchcraft, human sacrifices, animal sacrifices. The God of the old covenant with Abraham was a God of blood sacrifice. And how did he witness that the sacrifice was approved? Was through his spirit. Blood and spirit go together. There is a spirit on our land. And when we listen to the news and agree with it, we are taking that spirit that has come through a legal blood right of abortion, and we are repeating its agenda.
That's right. You're
Yes,
right.
That's
That's why God's
Right,
saying,
that's so good.
discern what I'm doing with this president. Discern what I'm doing
we
with
got
this
to shift what
administration.
we're saying and believing
Yeah.
and promoting, and again, the book. That's why we're putting this out. We have got to come together as the church and be unified in
Yes.
what we speak.
Amen.